Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm from Queens, New York.
What about you?
My name is Anthony. I'm originally from Philadelphia, born and raised, but I came to New York about 5 years ago, and I've been living in Queens ever since.
What's your first impressions of New York?
Definitely anxiety-inducing. I was like very young when I came here, so there was like a lot of all these things happening. I didn't really know what to do. So
Did you
now
have to
it's
get
calm.
into any fights?
Huh?
Did you have to get into any fights?
No. I'm just happy. I like New York's vibe now. It's very nice, calm.
So what's the difference between Philly and New York? Because it looks kind of similar in some ways.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Philly is like the back country of a city. Like if New York had like a hillbilly.
Y'all got trailer parks out there too?
No. I meant like it's a city, right?
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like there's a lot of conservative people there that you wouldn't expect, and it's like,
That was like a battleground state, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's been nice.
What can you tell me about Queens here?
Queens, a lot of people consider it boring because there's not much to do. But if you don't look for things to do, you'll never find them. And I think that there's cool places like the Pepsi Cola sign. Like, personally, I like woodlands and parks and nature, and Queens has a whole bunch of that. So if you're into that, Queens is for you.
Forest Park.
Forest Park.
Is that the best nature place?
I'm sorry?
Is Forest Park the best nature park?
No.
What's the best one?
No. Personally, I would say Forest Park because I've grown up there and I've went to that park as a child. So for me, and it's a big park, it's huge. There's woodlands, there's everything that you can need. But yeah, I changed my answer. Forest Park for sure.
So how did you choose Queens of all places? Because when you come here, you're like, okay, I can live in Jersey, I can live in the Bronx, I can live in Brooklyn, Queens. I mean, they're all surrounding areas.
Sadly, I didn't have a choice.
Okay.
My dad was living here.
All right.
But yeah, Queens is like, I mean, kind of like to piggyback off what she said with nature.
Yeah.
Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge.
Oh yeah.
If you like birding, that is the place to go. I mean, it's a mixture of fresh water with the ocean that's there. There's tons of birds that come there.
It's beautiful for sunsets too.
The sun sets over the city. Like, you'll see it set over downtown New York, and you can see it from the bridge down there. It's beautiful.
Sounds like a good place to bring a woman.
Yeah, Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge.
I know. Is there anything you miss about Philadelphia?
Not the city itself, but I miss my mom. She lives there now.
You don't miss the cheesesteak?
Oh. I mean, I refuse to eat a cheesesteak that's not in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, I've never eaten a cheesesteak outside of it.
Oh yeah.
Because, it's, I don't know, I gotta eat it from there.
Right. Okay, let's start with some of the dating questions. Compliments. Some people say you should compliment a woman, some people say you shouldn't. Where do you stand on that?
I think that he's obligated to use his freedom of speech. It's a natural right that he has. And if he feels free to compliment a woman, please let her know, because you can be saving someone's life. A lot of people, it's the last straw. And I myself have complimented people of both genders, and they've been like, wow, you really made my day. And he has that same power, and I think he should exercise that.
I think it's like, I think I would say the same thing, right? I think that's a really beautiful way to put it. I would just add, like, it's kind of how you go into it too. It's like, usually you compliment people because you like something. It's not like going into like flirting and like being really malicious about it, like you want to do something. It's just nice. It's kind-hearted. It's just spreading more love.
So what are 3 compliments that men should be using on women, and what are 3 that they should not be?
Like for women, like don't tell women?
Yeah.
Don't tell women the second that you meet them that she has a fat ass.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You know how uncomfortable that is? I myself, I used to go to school with a book bag on, and who else is coming to school with a book bag on at 8 a.m. in the morning? Young women going to school, students. And I've been told really nasty things. And what am I supposed to do with that? Start a conversation with you? It's disgusting and quite frankly, very offensive.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was the first thought in my mind. Like, don't compliment a woman on her body, like, very inappropriately. Especially like catcalling. That's disgusting.
Like off the bat, now I know what type of person you are.
Yeah, you know, compliment some clothes, compliment their hair or something, but not like, hey yo, you got a fat ass. Like, I like that. Like, no, that's disgusting.
But what if like they work out a lot and they've got like a very fit like body?
Be like, wow. There's ways to go about it. There's different things. There's body language. There's tone. You don't always have to go right off the bat and get aggressive with it. Like, but why? Why do you have to do that? You know, what are you trying to assert?
There's context too. It's like if you see a woman, if you see a woman who's in the gym and she's like, you know, she's working out, it's like, wow, you know, I really like, I'm impressed. Like you look, I don't know, maybe that also is inappropriate too.
There's ways to go about it.
Yeah.
We're just so used to seeing the negative ways to compliment a woman's body. That's what we normalize. But hopefully we're getting out of that. I would hope we are.
Yeah.
But I think it's all like learned skills, right? Like we have to learn how to say it and how not to say it. And a lot of people, they don't learn how to say it. So oftentimes, more often than not, it comes out the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
And you know, another thing that comes up a lot is creepy, right? A lot of guys who are creepy, they may not necessarily intend to be creepy, or you know, they don't know how to help themselves when it comes to creepiness.
So should we just normalize catcalling and?
No, I mean that's why I'm making videos like this, so that when people watch it, they'll be like, they can reflect on their own behaviors, right?
It's not an excuse because you didn't learn, because there's opportunities to learn every day. Every day.
Yeah, it's like if we're talking about catcalling too, like, or even compliments in general, like just put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Try to at least, because as men we can never fully understand the experiences that women go through. But from what you hear, from what you learn, it's like constant. It's like people constantly looking at you, constantly saying something.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's gross. It can be.
Wait, do y'all come to this park often?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen this tall, skinny guy with the hunchback who all he does is come here like all day, every day, and he walks up to attractive women and says, "You're beautiful."
I've never seen him, and I'm
look
thankful.
out for him. He's dressed in like a suit, 1920s type of suit, and that's all he does. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, judging by what you told me, I can assume he might have a mental illness.
Yeah.
And now you have to factor that in too, like that person might have a mental illness.
Right.
But what matters is my response.
Yeah.
I can't entertain that, nor will I.
Yeah. Because there's no way you're gonna know he's mentally ill. So, I mean, what would your first thoughts be if you seen a dude doing that? Like,
is it to me or to someone else?
to somebody else.
I'd ask her if she's okay. I've done that before. Like, go up to women, if I notice they feel uncomfortable, you can tell. Your body will literally tell you if you're uncomfortable, and I see that in women. And I'll ask them, like, are you okay? Did he do anything?
Yeah.
Like, do you need help?
Right. But how does that sound, like a random dude walking up to attractive women and saying you're beautiful? Because we were talking about compliments before, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. What does that sound like?
So what I do is, if I were to compliment someone and I think they're really beautiful, I think it's, instead of just saying, hey, you're beautiful, right? Like being really aggressive or anything, like, it's like, hey, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Like, I just really wanted to say you look really beautiful. Like, don't mean to disturb you. I hope you have a great night. Just had to say that, you know? Like, there are respectful ways that you can do it, so where they're not feeling uncomfortable, but rather they feel the goodness of the compliment in the first place.
So it's good to make your intentions known.
Right. I think that's a good point.
Now, I interviewed another woman, and she told me, I asked her, is it okay to compliment a woman on her eyes? And she said it depends who's doing it, whether the man is attractive or not. So what do y'all think about that? Does it matter who's doing the compliments?
I mean,
because it seems like you're going to get a different response if you're an attractive man versus an unattractive man.
Listen, it's not just about looks, it's about the body tone that came with it, the tone, what he was doing before, how he's looking at me. I can't just say, damn, he looked good, he's giving me a compliment and stick with that. No, because you can look good and still do a malicious compliment. There's a nice thick line. It's not a thin line, it's a thick line of how you provide a compliment to someone.
That's true. All right, now, there's a lot of men who come to this park specifically only to pick up women. Some people say that's appropriate, or this is an appropriate place to do something like that. Other people say this is not the place to do something like that. Where do you stand on that?
I think we have to change the discourse around like how we present things and how we speak about them is really powerful. So like that phrase "pick up women" makes it seem like there's some object that we can pick up and like willfully go about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think where it comes like going back to like the compliments, that's where I think it can get like bad, because if you're simply going up to them and intruding, that can be it's not good. So that's where like.
But a lot of them, that's exactly what they're doing. They're literally going from one woman to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're doing like, 10, 15 women, within like a half-hour period.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, well, during COVID, I think it's inappropriate. Like, don't keep going up to people like that.
And without masks. They're doing it without masks. Too.
Yeah, that's gross. Definitely not safe.
That not only shows a lack of concern for other people, but for yourself, more importantly.
Yeah.
You don't care. That's what that tells me. You don't care what happens to you. So why would I care? Why should I allow you to treat me like that? You don't even care about yourself. You can't even care about me.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
also,
that
it's
tells
like,
me.
what I'm curious to like, what are those people's intentions coming here? Like, what does that mean to pick up a woman? Right?
I think
like,
they're looking for sex.
Just sex? Like, is that?
Just based on like
Get
how
a Tinder account.
Yeah, based on how often they're here, based on how long they're talking for, based on the types of people they're approaching, I'm assuming that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line, but I mean, I think you can go about it in a respectful way, like making your intentions known, trying your best not to be creepy, make them feel uncomfortable, because I mean, right? People want to have sex. I mean, I think that's really natural to flirt and like try to whatever, But I think there's a line between that.
All right, now, what are your thoughts on online dating? Online dating.
I feel like it's really, I don't want to use the wrong word, but I think it's like virtual learning. You just can't connect to someone on a physical level, like as you would say traditional, but as we move with time, technology is more apparent, everything is more quick. You want a girl, you right swipe. You don't want her, you left swipe. Everything is just so quick at your fingertips. And we're forgetting how to be complex people. Start a conversation. We have to re-normalize politeness, compassion, not making someone feel uncomfortable, because we normalized abuse. We've normalized abuse, but with online dating, I really think we're taking away human connection. Honestly, I think that you have the power to tell if someone's unattractive or attractive via finger swipe.
Yeah, it's also like there's a power in being in someone's presence. Like you can
feel that person.
Yeah, like not even physically touch them. It's just being in someone's presence, being around them. And online there's a phrase, I'm forgetting it. It's like that, like online confidence, pretty much, where like people will seem very natural and flowing and confident. Catfish. It's pretty much what it is, right? And then you come into real life and
they're nothing of the sort.
Yeah, they're not even matching that same energy that they gave off originally.
They might not even look the same as their profile picture.
Yeah.
Too many surprises.
Yeah.
I had one person tell me the people who type very well are usually the people who can't talk very well. The people who talk very well are people who can't type very well. Because, when it comes to online dating, you have to do all that
We're both
typing.
proficient typers and we communicate well, so I'm not sure.
It's weird. I find a weird balance with that. Or not balance, Because sometimes I know you voice text or you
I
voice
do.
like essays,
Audio
right?
messages.
I do. For essays, I like to rant a little bit and then like clean it up. So I talk into it, let it type it out. But if I have to on my laptop, I can type well.
All right. Do you usually meet people through people you already know or by yourself? Because a lot of women will say, I prefer to meet people through people I know so that, you know, basically my friends have screened this person for me already. Where do you stand on that?
Especially with social media. With the pandemic, I've been on social media constantly.
Yeah.
And I have made friends mutually. That's a lot. That's where I've met a lot more people. Like if I see, okay, we have like 14 mutual people,
Yeah.
I think it builds more of a trust with that person.
Uh-huh.
Not to say I'll put all my trust into them, but it allows me to think, okay, this is someone that I have an attachment with through a mutual, and it's not on as uncomfy as someone who's I don't even know at all. You know, I can always ask someone like, hey, do you know this person, and get a little bit more about them.
Yeah, I haven't really met, like, when it comes to meeting people online, I'm not very good at it at all.
What about in real life? Do you do it through mutuals or by yourself?
Oh yeah, real life.
Because some people,
Yeah,
they say you can meet people anywhere, including on the subway
Yeah,
station.
no,
and other people will say, yeah, I prefer to meet people through other people that I already know.
Yeah, I do like meeting people through my friends, but I would say I like that, like, being in a new environment and meeting new people. Like if I'm going to class, for example, and I haven't met people in the class, I enjoy that a lot. Even people on the subway, if it's like a very interesting character, and like we just strike up a conversation, or even in the park, like, then I'm okay with that. I love that. I think it enriches the experience.
I actually had one woman, or maybe even more than one woman, tell me that I don't want to meet people through my friends because they want to keep it separate. Like a lot of women are afraid that their man's gonna try to hit on one of their female friends. So they try to keep it separate. Like,
And then in that case, I think you need to work on your foundation with your partner.
Yeah, there's lack of trust issues right there. There's insecurity.
There's
right there.
underlying things to that.
So, I mean, we all experience those things, but you know.
All right, now when it comes to approaching a woman, what kind of signal should we be looking for? Like
I'll
body
let you do
language,
that
anything
one.
like
Or
that?
should I do that one?
Yeah, both of you.
Can you be a little clearer with your question? Like,
I'm sorry, I'm getting a
let's say-
phone call.
Because a lot.
she got a phone call.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll do you first then. Yeah, like basically, a lot of times, like men will blindly walk over to any attractive woman and say, "Hey, are you single? Can I get your phone number?" But he wasn't looking for any cues, like, i.e., eye contact, smiles, or some people
Yeah,
have talked
there's-
about headphones.
There's this I saw this TED talk on flirting and attractiveness, and there's this acronym, HOT APE, and the H means like, I don't even remember, but O is like openness, the T is like their, I don't know, but basically kind of what you're going through. Like, if are their feet is their body turned towards you? Are they trying to turn away? Are they open with themselves? Are they kind of closed in? Are they giving short responses, or like they're tepid and they don't really want to interact? And I think with men too, men. It's weird. We have a lot of. I don't want to say we as and whatever, but a lot of men have problems with their pride, and they don't know how to take the L, so to speak. And so that leads them to feel angry and try to objectify the woman, like that they feel entitled to that phone number, or that or them to even be talking to them back. And so
That's why I
When
brought
you-
up the
Yeah.
signals, because like if
Like
people took the cues a little bit better, they wouldn't have to be rejected so much, maybe.
And I think they shouldn't even. I think they need to change their approach. Personally, as a man, if you're walking up to a woman and your first thing is, "Hey, can I get your number?" You gotta change it up, man. I feel like that's you gotta change
Start
the
with the
approach.
conversations first, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Maya, she is gone. Her Instagram is who is Maya C. She paints.
Yeah.
She's a model as well. She does her own like editing, and she's gorgeous. She has great energy. She's wonderful. So I encourage anyone to go there. Who is Maya C? That's her Instagram.
You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Shout out. I have my best friend Pablo. He's the greatest friend of mine in the world. He's in Miami right now. I haven't seen him. Hopefully I can see him soon. And yeah, actually,
Yes.
quick shout out or side note,
Yeah.
full disclaimer. I'm actually tripping on shrooms right now.
Oh, okay.
It's like dropping.
You seem very clear-minded though.
Oh yeah, no. The
You
whole
speak
time,
well, yeah.
the whole time I'm like,
Both of you or just you?
oh, she was as well.
Okay.
I don't think it hit her yet,
Yeah.
but it's like definitely hitting hitting
All
me.
right.
But yeah, so thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been great.
So I have your permission to put this on the internet?
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Do what you